pressure is on. No, I don't deny that definitely the pressure is on, but every time the game has been difficult, we come up and we give it a great shot with the Geico team. I feel that the best I can do is my 100% and being offensive, of course, and just extract what we have. Every day is a new game. Every qualifying is a new thing. The important thing is doing all you have and doing all you can. And that's what I do every time. And when I'm done that, I'm proud. And usually that brings us really good results. So I'm proud of that.
Good luck to Max. I love listening. He's like a motivational speaker. We should all listen to Max Pappas.
He is, Wendy. And Travis Kvapil in the 38 car, a little quicker than Casey Mears. And I misspoke, Casey not locked into the show.
Yeah, this 38 team, Front Row Motorsports, they actually missed the Brickyard 400 last week with David Gilliland driving this car. Travis back in it this week.
Going back to Max Pappas, now he qualified 20th here in the spring race, wound up finishing 34th. So Max definitely knows how to get around this racetrack.
Yeah, Max, they've missed 4 races this year, but the good news, I was talking to Booty Barker, one of my buddies we shoot NASCAR Performance with. They've qualified for at least the 2 biggest races, the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 last week.
Hey, is Booty coming to trackside? Crew Chief Extravaganza?
You know what? We can do that. I'll just go right by and pick him up, too.
The shuttle bus.
Yes, sir. The bus needs to get a little bigger, though, I'm going to say.
Crew Chief Express.
Yeah.
Dave Blaney, a veteran here at Pocono, 21 starts for the Buckeye Bullet.
So right now, for Dave to lock in, he would need to beat that 53.78 of Travis Kvapil. You know he would race on Sunday. That's the little green stripe on our tracker that represents Travis Kvapil's time.
Blaney has one top 10 finish here. Has 16 starts in this 2010 season.
You know, while we're watching Dave Blaney qualify, I know we're in our Go Home group, keep going back to things that I saw and things that I heard at Indy. And Jimmy Johnson had a great comment in his post-race comments. And, you know, the more I thought about it, the guy's absolutely right. He said nobody in 2010 has been able to put a long, hot streak together and keep it. Yeah, the 29 car, Gil Martin, Kevin Harvick, they've been consistent, but nobody, you know, the 48 did it to the start of the season and back in June. The 11 did it in March, April, in part of May and June. But nobody's been able to do it and keep it there for a long period of time.
Wonder why?
I just think it's the competition. The competition. Look at the guys that we've got this year. As Dave Blaney's going to run his second lap right now. He's 34th quickest, second quickest of the Go Homers. Just look at teams we've got this year that were not even in the picture last year. More than anything, those 3 Richard Childress cars. And now all of a sudden, we're starting to see a little bit of spring in the step of the Roush Fenway guys. I know we beat those guys up, but they do have 3 cars in the top 12 right now, talking about the Roush Fenway group.
They do. I mean, they're a model of consistency, not excellence, but at the same time, they're very consistent, very persistent, and they make the best out of the situations that are dealt. For Dave Blaney, well, still winds up holding on to 34th quickest right now, and that locks in Travis Kvapil in that 38 car.
Qualifying continues here at Pocono. Stay with us here on Speed. Qualifying continues here at Pocono. Michael McDowell in the 55 and Joe Nemechek in the 87 have locked themselves in to Sunday's show. So good qualifying effort by those 2 teams and drivers. David Stremme up next in the 26 car. And by the way, we talked about Jack Roush in practice. I want to update his condition. He crashed on Tuesday in Oshkosh, Wisconsin on his way into an aviation show. He's been moved from a hospital in Wisconsin to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And Jack is in serious but stable condition, having some facial surgery. So just want to send our best wishes to Jack Roush.
Yeah, hurry back. Jack, and whoa, hang on to it there, David. It's not what you need when you're trying to make this race here at Pocono. Along with Brenda Strickland, we're on Jack's private jet. Had a little mishap right there on landing, but it was good to see both of them walk away.
Saw the stickers on those Roush Fenway cars. Said
whoa, he got in that Wallace a little bit.
Did. Saw those stickers said get back to the track, Jack.
Yeah, and I'm sure as soon as the Cat in the Hat is up to it, he will be back. I would say David Stremme will probably, I think he's already shut it down, and I don't feel good about that lap there at all. At 54.41, of course, this team owned by Bill Jenkins, they actually missed the Brickyard 400 last week. He just had his hands full in all three corners, especially turn 2. You see it right there, get loose.
Wow.
You can see the steering wheel and the hands pretty much tell the tale right there.
Yeah, he used a lot of racetrack up there, but then off of the exit of turn 3, it was coming through there. He had it flat on the floor, it looks like, and catches a piece of that safer barrier. I mean, he don't even get into the softer part of it. He actually hits concrete, looks like.
Well, I mean, he knows it's go or go home, but that's a pretty hard lick on that 26 car. But I think with 4 cars left to go, that's going to be very borderline for David Stremme in this 26 group.
Final 4 drivers, Todd Bodine, Landon Castle, who's in the 09, J.J. Yaley, and then Max Pappas.
Now that should, though, lock Dave Blaney into the show. So both the Prism Motorsports cars will race on Sunday, Micah McDowell and Dave Blaney.
Todd Bodine has quite a bit of experience here at Pocono in the Cup Series, 13 starts. Actually won the pole for the 2001 Pennsylvania 500.
We talked about it earlier. Todd was able to qualify this car at Indianapolis the other week.
And then Chad McCumbee qualified this 64 car back in June. Todd could not be here because of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series schedule. Right now, just need to beat a 54.11. That's Casey Mears. That's the little green stripe right there that he's sitting right on top of right now in the 64 car.
And Larry, as you said a moment ago, Dave Blaney is in fact locked into the show.
Todd held a charity golf tournament up here in the Pennsylvania area. I don't remember the exact name, but I think it was like called the U.S. Onion Open or something.
It had something to do with onion, yes.
Yes, it did.
Onion slice, they said.
Clever.
Yeah, very clever. Larry, you ever sliced a golf ball?
Only every time I hit it.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Todd's wife, and they were hoping to raise money for pediatric hospitals up near here.
Now, that's when I hit it far enough to consider it a slice. I figured this deal out.
I'm going to bring that up.
I've been bowling and I've been golfing. I've got my scores backwards. My golf score is higher than my bowling score.
Got to work on that.
That's not good. Either one of them.
No, not at all. Todd's going to shut it down, but the good news for that will lock Casey Mears in that 36 car in. That's a car that missed the Brickyard last week.
Well, can Tony Stewart hang on for his 12th career pole? We'll find out shortly. Stay with us here at Pocono. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup Qualifying for Pocono is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 foot-long subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. Brought to you in part by Kills Primers. Kills, the perfect start to a great finish. And by Sprint, the Now Network. Landon Castle in the 09 car has locked himself into the show.
I'm going to tell you what, though, J.J. Yaley in this 46 car, he didn't mess around. He went straight to the top of the go-or-go-homers, and he is at a 53.69. Had a rough 2 days at the Brickyard 400 last week. Did not miss the show. In fact, they've missed the last 2 shows at Chicagoland in the Brickyard, but he will race on Sunday.
Yeah, good comeback by this operation to get him in the show here today.
And David Stremme, unfortunately, will not race in that 26 car on Sunday. He is bumped out.
So you know what this means, guys? It's going to come down to one.
Max Pappas or Todd Bodine. Max is the final car to take qualifying here.
Better call up Booty Barker and say you got to work some magic.
Tell you what, he qualified about mid-pack here in June, ended up qualifying 20th. As mentioned, qualified for the Brickyard 400. But what an explosion under the hood of that 13 car early in the race. Big-time engine failure.
As they like to say, something coming up.
Max ran a 55.04.